What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kev. Like, comment, subscribe. The WNBA is in the news because Brittany Griner says there are security concerns for her and she cannot be flying commercial airlines anymore. She needs to fly privately, charter, but the WNBA does not do that. That's wild crazy to think about, that the WNBA has these players flying on planes with normal, regular people like myself. No mask mandate during the COVID. All this crazy stuff is wild crazy. But she's scared to fly commercial because everything that happened, her coming back from Russia. Kyrie Irving talked about it. Some of the NBA players tweeted about it. There's articles about it. So let's read it all, watch it all, and see where you guys stand after all the news comes out. So first up, Kyrie Irving, what do you got to say about that?
No matter how much it costs, per se, I think we can all collectively come together and make something very doable happen. And we just want to have our ladies have peace of mind while they're playing. They don't need to be overseas all the time. They need to be here playing in front of their families every single day doing what we do. So I think it's a lesson learned right now of how we can attack this as a family, because W and the NBA, we're a family. And I think things will be figured out before the season gets started. So I'm very optimistic about that.
The WNBA women don't get paid enough money to live off of, well, their lifestyle, because they're professionals, to live off of what they're doing. So a lot of them play in the WNBA season, and then when the WNBA season is done, they go overseas to play basketball. Hence why Brittany Griner got caught up in Russia, because she was playing basketball overseas after the WNBA season. So Kyrie says there should be no reason for that. The WNBA should be paying the women enough money so where they just have to play the WNBA season and they can stay in America, stay in the United States. So let's read this article about Brittany Griner and see what is allegedly or what is happening with the WNBA. So Brittany Griner's security concerns forces the WNBA to once again tackle its travel issues. The Phoenix Mercury Center's new reality is pushing the league to reconsider its charter flights policy. After spending most of 2022 wrongfully detained in Russia, WNBA star Brittany Griner is ready to get back to her regular life, including basketball. Following a prisoner swap that led to her release in December, the Phoenix Mercury Center made it clear that her career on the court was far from over. In a December Instagram post, Griner wrote, "I also want to make one thing very clear. I intend to play basketball for the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury this season, and in doing so, I look forward to being able to say thank you to those of you who advocated, wrote, and posted for me in person soon. However, it appears it won't be business as usual when it comes to Griner's travel arrangements. According to ESPN's Ramona Shelburne, charter flights for players has once again become a central conversation for the league because of the assumption that Phoenix Mercury Center Brittany Griner will need to fly privately due to security concerns." I guess the arguments are always the WNBA is not making enough money for them to pay the women to fly them on private planes. I guess too much. The money is not coming in, so they can't be giving it out and dishing it out. But let's read this article, and this is saying kind of something different here. So let me know what you guys think after hearing this article. So this is from The Boardroom, and the title is "The WNBA's Looming Reckoning with Chartered Flights." So Brianna Stewart says she wants to find a way to help subsidize charter flights for the WNBA. But why is it on the players to show leadership on the issue? Remember the great WNBA charter flight controversy of 2022, the one that happened after the NBA fined New York Liberty co-owners Joe and Clara Wusai $500,000 with potential for termination of the franchise for chartering flights to away games during the second half of the NBA season. What? Wait, hold on. So the WNBA almost took away these owners from owning the New York Liberty because they chartered their players? They put their players on private planes, and the WNBA said, "No, we're not having that. We're about to take that team away from you." Well, that talk hasn't stopped, nor should it. If you recall, all the sides did was provide accommodations for their players. that the league was unwilling to do itself. Because this violated the CBA and could have given Liberty players a competitive advantage, the league had to come down hard on the franchise. The size thinking, however, was correct and boils down to this. If you invest in your players, then those players will be able to provide a better product. On Sunday, 4-time All-Star and free agent Breanna Stewart stated her intentions to lead a group that could potentially subsidize charter travel for all 12 NBA teams. I would love to be part of a deal that helps subsidize charter travel for the entire WNBA. I would contribute my NIL post plus production hours to ensure we all travel in a way that prioritizes player health and safety, which ultimately results in a better product. Who's with me? So there goes the money issue. She's saying that I'm willing to put the money in. I'm willing to put the funds up. Kyrie Irving spoke on the funds. I'm pretty sure he's not just talking to talk. He was going to put up the funds as well. So what's the excuse? Here goes John Morant. NBA Players has chimed in. Count me in. He said on Breanna Stewart's Twitter post, count me in. So John Morant is willing to put up the money. Shiana Ogo, I'm not even trying to say her name. Callie Cooper, Sue Bird, Paige Buckers are all in. And unanimous, these are all the people that are, look at all this. Natalie Ashowan. I can't pronounce none of these names, but you see it on the screen. All these players are like, I'm in. I'm with you, Breanna. I'm with you. I'm with you. Commissioner Kathy Eglenberg said at the time of the Liberty incident that the league doesn't have the financial means to accommodate charter flights for everyone, citing at least $30 million cost for the full WNBA season. Only it does have the money. That's what NBA Gordon Hayward will earn in 2023. Most will point to the $10 billion revenue that the NBA generated in 2022 versus the WNBA's reported $60 million. But the NBA owns the WNBA. It's quite literally their own entity, part of their own business. The $30 million figure would cut into 0.3% of the association's 2022 revenue. Investing more into your business typically means a better product, as Stewart pointed out in her tweet. Better travel conditions will lead to better player health and safety, which ultimately results in a better product, and a better product would equal more growth and more revenue for the WNBA. That's not just talk either. Here's a real example from last year when Washington Mystics guard Natasha Cloud tested positive for COVID after a commercial fight. Shout out to the WNBA for flying its commercial during a pandemic and no mask mandates. Go Mystics. So that's pretty much the gist of it. It goes into a little bit more. Becky Hammon talks about it, but that's pretty much the gist. So Natasha Cloud got COVID because she flew. So what's the issue? I need to know what you guys think in the comments below. The NBA players are willing to put up the money. The WNBA players are willing to put up the money. The revenue the NBA is making, they can invest back into the WNBA to put up the money. So why is this not happening? Like Kyrie said, he's optimistic that it will happen before the WNBA season starts. It's still crazy to me. The WNBA players, like, I'm going to the airport and I look back and I see 6 WNBA players on the same flight as me is wild, crazy. My thoughts, they definitely should be flying private. These are professional athletes, treat them as such. We just got to continue to do more and more to change the game of basketball for the women's. Get more eyes on it. Whatever you got to do, make maybe a 4-point line, lower the basket. These are always ideas being thrown out, but just continue. Get back to the drawing board. Figure out what you got to do for women's basketball. Get more eyes on it. Get more revenue coming in so these women don't have to deal with issues like this. God, come on, WNBA. It's time to do better. This is Coach Kev, and I'm out of here. Peace.